What's up guys, MegaDPAL here, and I'm bringing another Pokemon X and Pokemon Y Wi-Fi battle for you guys today. And today I'm against Blitz. This is a very good, very fun battle I had. So if you recognise this battle and you recognise this is your username, and you have a channel, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, and I'll put your channel link in the description. So looking at team preview, he's running a very standard team up until you see the Primate, which kind of caught me off guard a little bit, but it's still really fun to see. And my team, I'm actually using this team built around Mega Charizard X. And his team was actually made by Phoenix Master 1. We was actually building a team around Charizard X together. And we only finished it, half finished it. And he went away and finished the rest. And this is the resultant team. So I'm using this team out. It's very fun. So as you can see, we're both running Charizards. I'm running X. He is in fact running Y, as you can tell by the title of this video. So quick question of the day before we get into the battle. And that is, who is your favourite? Mega Charizard X or Mega Charizard Y? Let me know in the comment section below, and let's just get straight onto the battle. So I'm actually deciding to lead off with my Latias, as he actually leads off with his Magnezone. I was actually predicting to lead off with his Primate, incidentally. So this is obviously not a good matchup for me, because I don't actually run the Hidden Power Fire on this Latias. So I'm just going to make the switch, go out into my Mungus. Despite him even potentially running the Hidden Power Ice, I know I can eat it up my Mungus, and I can scout the damage and scout whether this thing is in fact Scarf or Specs. We're just going to play it safe, predict that switch and go for the Volt switch, which is fine for me because my Mungus obviously eat this up. He gets a free switch into his Charizard, and like I mentioned team preview, he's in fact Charizard Y, and it's what I was predicting in the battle. That's why I'm going to make the switch, go out into my Latias, just because the way he brought it in, I obviously don't want to take a Fire Blast from this thing. And he's in fact going to Mega Evolve immediately, go straight out into his Mega Charizard Y, get out the sun, go for that Sun Boosted Fire Blast. So I am more bulky variant of Latias, so therefore I knew I could eat up this Fire Blast reasonably well. And it does in fact land it, and it does a decent bit, because of it obviously being Mega Charizard Y and Sun Boosted. But my lefty's recovery is fine, so I know I can eat up any Fire Blast on this thing. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to go make the double, go out into my Tyranitar, just to take whatever he wants to go for, whether it be an Air Slash or something, just scout out what he's running, or potentially even a Dragon Pulse. But he's actually going to make the switch, go out into his Excadrill. I'm not too sure if he was predicting that. If he did, there's a real nice double on his part. But looking at his team, he has absolutely nothing set up with his Stealth Rocks apart from his Excadrill. And despite Excadrill not potentially being the best Stealth Rocker in my opinion, I'm actually going to predict him to go for them rocks, which he does go for. Therefore I stay in, not fearing the Earthquake, go for that Fire Blast. Because the stand is up, it does around about 50%, but I do manage to pop its balloon incidentally, which is the main reason why I stayed in. So that's great for me. And I'm just going to make the switch, go out into my Thundurus now. Expecting him, seems though we revealed the Stealth Rock, expecting him to run the EQ, Raspin, Stealth Rock and the Iron Head, as opposed to the Rock Slide. So I do just dodge that Earthquake and then just go for that Focus Blast Fallen Turn. It does in fact stay in, so maybe running the the Rock Slide, hoping I missed the Focus Blast and try and take me out. But I wasn't too sure, but either way, down goes his Excadrill, his Rapid Spinner, so that's real nice for me. He does in fact have his Rocks up, but I know that I just need to get them rocks off field, then my Mega Charizard X will do a whole lot of work to his team, as we saw on the team preview. It's a huge threat to his team, so what I'm actually going to do is go out into my Tyranitar now, just to try and get these rocks away. I'll just explain my plan is, and I know I can obviously eat up any hit he actually wants to go for. Actually goes for the Thunderbolt, which is nice, gets the Para. I'm not too bothered about that, but this way actually forces him to obviously go out into his Keldeo at this point. So therefore I can double and go out into my Latias, predicting that Keldeo. This works out really nice for me, as he does in fact make that switch into his Keldeo incidentally. I didn't want to go for my rocks just because I want to obviously defog away his rocks before I set on my own. So I make the double into my Latias, knowing he's going to be scared out, not wanting to take a side shock to the face. So this gives me the perfect opportunity, like I said, just to get rid of his rocks. And I still have my Tyranitar later to potentially set on my own, which obviously cripple his own Charizard. So I'm just going to go for that defog because he brings back in his Magnezone. So this works out really nice for me. Them rocks have vanished, they're gone, his Excadrill's down, he has no way to set up rocks again. Therefore my Mega Charizard will do a whole lot of work. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm actually going to stay in, just scout out whether this thing is in fact Scarf or Specs. So go for Recover, I outspeed, therefore telling me he's in fact Specs, as he actually went for the Volt Switch. Once again predicts me to switch out like I did turn 1, but that's not really the case, and he's actually going to go out into his own Latias. A little strange, I guess he's not expecting me to be running max speed, which I am incidentally. But what I'm actually going to do is just switch, go out to my Tyranitar, because it's the best thing to take on this here Latias, and I can obviously, I do actually run the pursuit, and I can pursuit track this thing and take it out. He's going to go for that Draco, he does in fact miss, which is a little unfortunate, but I can obviously up me in special defense with T-Tar. what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to use this time to settle my Stealth Rocks, because it does have Charizard Y as we've established. And I'm not too threatened by this Latias, as I do have a Thunderous. I can T-Wave this thing, therefore I can obviously outspeed it with my Zard X and take it out. So that is if I actually lose my Tyranitar, that is. So I can obviously keep my Tyranitar for later, just to pursuit that thing, as he makes a switch into his Keldeo. Obviously this is going to force me out, but I do have an Amoonguss just chilling in its Pokeball, which I'm going to send out now just to take any hit this thing wants to go for. Just play it safe, just go straight for that Secret Sword. Like I said, eat that up really nice. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm not going to go for the Spore, as once again we do know he has a Primeape on his team, most likely a Vital Spirit, therefore just to avoid Spores from the likes of Smeargle or Amoonguss or Venusaur, whatever could be running that Breloom. So I'm not going to go for that, I'm actually just going to go straight for that safe Giga Drain, just get a bit of damage on what everyone's switching to, in this case being his Primeape. So it does a decent chunk, which is fine, and I know I can live an Ice Punch from this thing, I'm not fearing anything from it. Just because I am obviously a Amoonguss, very bulky, and I obviously have the Regenerate, I can just switch it out there and get a lot of HP back. So I'm actually just going to go straight for the Giga Drain once again, as he actually U-turns. Maybe it expects me to fear an Ice Punch, but like I said, I know I can live and I can just start to get more damage off on this at Primeape. But he's actually going to U-turn out, go out into his this thing, his Latias, just to take the Giga Drain, which is nice for him. But at the same time, once again, I'm not fearing this Latias too much, just because I do have a Tyranitar still chilling. So that's the switch I'm actually going to make, as the Sandstorm just subsides. I'm going to make the switch into my Tyranitar, just because I know I can take any hit. What he's actually going to do is predict that nicely, go back out into this here Primeape. But this double switch, despite him predicting it, is not going to work out too great for him, just because he's going to take Stealth Rock damage when it comes in. And obviously I'm going to go out into my Tyranitar once again, getting up the sand, therefore he's going to take another turn of sand damage. So I obviously don't need to stay in at this point. I still have my Amoonguss, which is fully nice and healthy thanks to the Regenerator, so I can just switch straight on into that, just to take the close combat at this point. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Therefore I can eat up this close combat, and he's going to take more Life Orb recoil, and obviously another turn of sand damage. So basically, because that double switch, he's taken 2 turns of sand damage, 1 Life Orb recoil and 1 Stealth Rock, and I'm basically chilling nice and healthy with my Amoonguss still, despite taking a little bit of damage. I can obviously have still at a range where I can eat up an Ice Punch from this thing. So I'm just going to go straight for the Sludge Bomb this time, just trying to take it out. It does finally reveal the Ice Punch. Like I said, it does a decent chunk, but I am bulky, I'm an Amoonguss, I can live it. And I just take it out with a Sludge Bomb this turn. On the off chance went for the U-turn and went back out into his Latias. So that's nice for me. And as I have mentioned before, I do have the Regenerator, so I can easily switch on out of there, and then therefore get the boost. So in comes this thing now, is Magnezone. I see this as a perfect opportunity to just go back out into my Tyranitar. Despite my potential one to keep this for his Latias, I do have a plan B, like I mentioned earlier about the Thunderous. So I'm just going to go into my Tyranitar, just take any hit. It actually reveals a Flash Cannon here, and I'm like, okay, this is perfect. I see this as the most optimal opportunity to actually settle with my Charizard X, as his last Pokemon are Magnezone, his own Latias, his Keldeo, and his Zard Y. So I'm just going to forward off my Tyranitar, get fully paralysed here. This is fine for me. I'm just going to forward him off just because I know he's locked into this Flash Cannon. Therefore I can get a free switch into the Charizard, threaten him out and get up a free Dragon Dance. So he's just going to go for the 3rd Flash Cannon now, resulting in my Tyranitar being taken out. Tyranitar definitely did its job. Like I said, get a free switch into my Mega Zard. Just going to Mega Evolve and go straight for that Dragon Dance. I did speed up at this point, as like I said, I'm just going to Mega Evolve, just go straight for that Dragon Dance, as he brings in his Keldeo at this point. And the +1 stab, Tough Claws boosted, Dragon Claw is going to be more than enough at this range to take out the Keldeo. So down goes that thing, bringing him down to his last 3. In comes his Latias now. He's going to stall a little bit, make the switch, go back out into his Magnezone, just to take obviously the Dragon Claw, but he's basically delaying the inevitable, and that is the Mega Charizard sweep. So I'm just going to go straight for that Flare Blitz now, take out this here Genesect. It's not really a Genesect, it's a Magnezone. So down goes that thing, bringing him down to his last 2. Mega Zard X versus Mega Zard Y. Who will win? There's only going to be one win in this case, and that is my Mega Charizard X. I'm just going to go straight for that Dragon Claw, wiping out his Mega Charizard Y, bringing him down to his Latias, and I can just clinch the game with one final Dragon Claw. So that is going to be the game. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and of course subscribe for more. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.